Woo-wee. We're back, you guys. Thanks for tuning in. What a fun day. It's been such an incredible day. Market day's been kind of boring though. Good show today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love seeing the numbers on that stream go higher. Can I tell you guys though? I'm not gonna lie. They're gonna have a bunch of kick-ass deals in my funded futures for this 4th of July. So I'm just telling you. Get your rock scooter code ready. Was that you, Gabriel, in chat? Which one of you guys? No, one of y'all was fucking with me hard. I need to read my prompter the correct way. Am I short now? I'm not shorting yet. I'm waiting for it to fall though. What's the Funded X sale? It's going to be 30% off, which is very huge for Funded Next. That's really big. Be very big. But yeah, I would tell you the two biggest sales, I would say, if I were to rank them, okay? So if you're wondering what you should hold out for, just from my opinion, the biggest sale you should hold out for is the My Fund and Future sale. It's better than the next two put together. Funded Next, well, no, let me start over. Funded Next, also really big. The other three sales are moderate. ETF 65% off of though on straight to funded though is also, well, let me start over. That's actually really good. I forgot about that. Okay, let me start over. The biggest sale, the best sale is going to be My Funded Futures. The second best sale is going to be a tie between the 30% off end of the day with Funded Next and the 65% off static and direct to funded with ETF, depending on which one you want. Those two are going to be massive discounts. But in general, My Funded is going to be pretty good. So Tradeify is a normal 30% off. It's not straight to funded on Funded Next just yet. They haven't released their straight to funded program. It's 30% off their end of the days. Tradeify's 35% deal expires today. Baron tomorrow's deal. Load up on your 35% today. I can't leak deals. I gotta be careful. I just started organizing my new organization of this. My goal now is to get the inside scoop. I have a new employee that's helping me get the inside scoop to give you guys as inside of a scoop as I can, as quick as I can, without leaking the deal. So I have to be careful not to know the difference between what I can and can't say. I gotta be so distracted. Tradeify's, I don't know the deal yet. So that's actually one thing I don't know. So I can't rank Tradeify in there. They have a 30% off sale now, but I don't know what Tradeify's deal is going to be. Futures Desk is 60% off. Yeah. But pick your best firm. They're all going to have, for the most part, like some of the better sales I've seen in a while. Especially 30% off at Funded Next. That's like really good because honestly, the uncapped payout, that's what makes them awesome. Uncapped payouts with those guys is the way to go. It's better than like doing the uncapped payout thing with Apex, I feel. I like the end of the day drawdown setup. Wait, I need to, what am I trying to do here? I need to log into stream. I can't leak stuff. I'm gonna get in trouble. I'm just clumsy and ADHD. I mess up sometimes. I can't confirm or deny if I've leaked anything. I can't confirm nor deny. Mike, I'm gonna kill you, bro. Like, Mike, shut the fuck up. No, it's your fault. Okay, what's half fault? Okay, accidents happen. This is my fault because this is the first week we were doing this. I've been like trying to read my communications, and my person who messages me did their job. I didn't do mine. I fudged it up. All right. Well, now you maybe you know, but don't tell anybody. Don't just, one thing is, don't, if you guys accidentally have a feeling that something may or may not happen, just don't go tell anybody. You know, the one thing you don't want to do is mess up a business's, you know, marketing plan or whatever. Let them make their announcement, but don't go leak it anywhere. If you happen to accidentally get a leaked information or whatever, you know, you reap the benefits of getting in on it and knowing you're going to wait for it. But yeah, y'all keep it on the DL. Will I take trades anymore today? I will, like on the downside. But I'm going to tell you that my funded deal is pretty cool. It's worth waiting for. And so is the Funded Next. And honestly, if you want the direct to funded with ETF, that's in the static 65% off is solid there too. So you guys hopefully for 4th of July start loading up. It basically just depends on what kind of account you want. And Futures Desk is 60% off. And I don't know Tradeify's yet. That's what I'm waiting to see. Oh. Oh, this market is dead. It's so boring, I know. They won't tell me anything going forward. Nah, they'll write. But the thing is I don't feel like anybody's gonna go out there and make a stink about it. The 1,000 people or whatever in that show. They'll tell me, but I'm just got to be careful. But yeah, I probably demoted at this point. Yeah, use my code, by the way, guys. Yeah, use my code tomorrow. And remember, anybody's code, like anybody's discount, use our code. That makes it easy for you. How long would the deals last? Usually the deals last for like the week of 4th of July. Most all of them probably start tomorrow, and you just got to get ready to buy up. So if you guys are like, here's what I'm going to tell you. If you guys, this is what I would do. Since they're super cheap, you know, I would just hold out till tomorrow. Is it going to go down and pump back up? That's what I want to see, man. Negative res lets me think that it might go down. And I'm just waiting for it to go down. But I'm not shorting it either. How do you use Rocket Scooter pivots to trade gold and oil? You can use GLD and USO to find liquidity maps. And you can also use the futures dynamic hedge pressures once we create that automation of that, which is coming out pretty soon. You took 2 L's? This day was stupid, man. Even on the stream, Tom took a little L. I don't know if today was just probably because people maybe longed out the door, longed very close to the start. Or maybe try to shorten that drop. The market just flattened out and chopped up and kind of like didn't reward anybody. Now, this is a case where, look, S&P resilience is sort of deteriorating. And the market may possibly pull back and sell off. So I don't know, like to bet on that, but it's very possible that that happens. So we're going to kind of chill on this. What does NASDAQ look like? Oh, that is NASDAQ, sorry. S&P is the one that's like, okay, sitting at half cap with negative res, could probably sell off. A little bit of deterioration here. Let me double check some of the stocks and see if they're pulling back. Apple's doing okay. Still flat. Nvidia's flat. Amazon just kind of selling for the afternoon. Microsoft pulling back. Meta pulling back. What do we get today? Looks like the obvious trade to think it's going to sell off because it's not moving. I wonder if it gets people a little scared today. Watching my tick chart off to the side. I do have a feeling like it's going to probably pull back and fill the gap. It's called me a spidey sense. I don't know. It just has that feeling. And maybe it's just like, I'm like, do I want to try to short this? If it does, like, honestly, it's not an A+ setup, especially to even jump in on a short. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of that, but sitting out's also a good strategy. What account would I recommend picking up tomorrow? Depends on what kind of account that you want. My Funded Futures will have the best overall deal, I feel. Straight to funded ETFs is going to be 65% off. That's great. Static ETF, 65%. Funded next, don't put the numbers next to each other, but compare them to what we normally get. Funded next will be 30% off, which is huge for them. We get 5 normally. And they've kind of fixed all their administrative things that were going on. And now they're back to kind of like on top of things and getting approvals done quick. And the KYC is super easy now. So I'd say that those are my top 3 to pick from. ETF, my funded futures, funded next. But my funded futures is pretty cool. That sexy swing high short at the open right up there. Right, with negative res, I'm sure some of you guys probably did take that short. It wasn't necessarily like A+ setup, but it is kind of pulling back to mid. I'm sure like crazy flat days like this usually just, you know, in my experience, pick up momentum and just freaking blaze straight up. It's very rare that market just falls from here without selling volume to drop it. But you could see a little bit of holiday nosedive. Hourly chart on the S&P is certainly just like not really pulled back at all. And it's not that I say that because markets are high, it could come down, but you can see like lack of momentum pushing the market higher. The market is flat and comfortably sitting lower. It could try to retrace. Let's get some red line calcs. Let's try to find like a downside pivot here. You guys know the drill on how I do this. Let's go all the way back. On whatever day this is, Thursday, Friday. Yeah, we don't necessarily have like a big IRL setup on this, but just measure the whole distance. It's not really a good impact level setup. Let's see if Nasdaq was more telling. Dude, and I don't know what it is with like these Gen Alpha or Gen Z kids. Like, I'll tell you, I'm pretty humble about this, but I'll trade circles on any online bozo there ever was. There's all these wannabes out there. But what is it that's like, you know, when I was growing, there's a lot of these small traders that like want to come at me or whatever. I think it's like, this is the day and age where people don't spend a lot of time. Looks like we're moving. Some kind of news event or something. There's a lot of people not really like, you know, instead of collaborating, I feel like everybody is like in it on their own and they're all kind of like the fuck you mentality that they all have towards each other is weird. Like, I don't understand. In my day, like collabing is how you got big. Collabing with someone bigger than you. Not really sure what's going on with the news here, but y'all double check that. See what's going on here. Market picked up some crazy volume a second ago. Let's check out the wee woo. But I just tell people, you know, all that matters is that you trade well. And a bunch of these wannabes out there. EU to accept Trump's universal tariff, but looks for key exemptions. Tariff stuff. But yeah, dude, all these wannabe bozos, dude, I'll trade circles around them any day. Any day, but there's a lot of wannabes out there trying to build a name for themselves, so more power to them, I guess. Damn, that market's selling off pretty good. I'm glad I ain't in that long. My intuition was pretty good chilling out today. See, this is what I'm saying. Have you picked up pennies from a steamroller? Did you finally, are you up today, Kavish? Like after all this time? Yeah. If you're up, I would consider myself lucky too. Yeah. Every sprinkle candles? I don't. For Funder Pro Futures, I don't know what Funded Pro Futures is charting with Liv. Funder Pro, is that like a new prop firm? Dude, there's a new prop firm like every 10 minutes, I feel like. This crazy ass market, man. What's going on? See, this is what strategic avoidance is all about. But I found in my day, you know, the trick to getting big or to getting bigger in the space is to actually make friends and go out there and collab with people that are bigger than you and just be good at trading. That's really what it is. But I guess it's just like a F you to everyone mentality. A lot of these newer, younger kids that'll never make it big. But I think they're in this like lone wolf scenario where it's like me against the world sort of thing. But when it comes down to it, I'll fucking trade circles around any one of these wannabe influencers in a heartbeat. There's not a single person out there that I'm worried would ever outperform me in trading because I just do so well. And I know it. And I've never seen anybody else show that they do. So I've kind of come to the conclusion that the reason people are so mean to each other and argument and defensive is because that's what they stand on. They don't have records or good trading stats to stand on. So they got to stand on nefarious ways to grow, which is, you know, sucking off of each other's engagement. And like for me, I didn't ever really have any tricks up my sleeve other than I just crush in the markets. That's always been the trick to growing. From my perspective, I think in trading, you want to see people, like if I was to watch somebody, I would be too smart to see through somebody's trust me bros and all that. I just want to see their performance. But it's in the world of tell me not show me. So there's a lot of people that just have a lot to say and a lot to sell, but not a lot to show. We're old, Lee. We got to face it, brother. We're getting old. Whole day waiting and the market moves in like 2 seconds, right? I'm just waiting. I wonder, I need to check out my profit target from next fund and next payout. I'm due for a payout. How far do I need to go in this one? One of my accounts is at payout ready, I think. Hold on, let me double check it. I still got a little bit more to go on this one. Okay, what about this guy? I am at... Oh, hold on. Oh. That was crazy. Just some Trump dump stuff. Span up, span down. I wonder what this, usually something like this starts out the rally day. So that could be the momentum we wanted. Res did take a little bit of a bigger dive though. I wonder if there is a trade I can take. Res is negative. For shits and giggles, if I were just short it from here, just for funsies, for no reason other than why the fuck not? Because res is negative and I'll just hold through the chop with like $500 of drawdown just for fun. Like, why not? Just in case we fall below half cap. I don't normally do this, but now I'm, instead of playing the whole range here, I'm just playing inside of here. Just betting that we end up staying below half cap. I don't think we will, but we'll send Japan letter on Terrace, Truth Social, just some Tariff this and that. Trump's posting on Truth. That's what it was. Why don't I finally just make a bet now? Just pull the trigger, see if something happens. I don't normally do this, guys. This is a terrible idea. Not other than just the market span lower and rest just took a nosedive 2 different layers lower. It could go up to there with some volatility before it moves, but maybe I'm just kind of take a bet to see if it does move. Just for funsies. What do you guys think today? Am I bored trading? Today's kind of a boring day, yeah. Kind of a boring day. Watch it just rally from here. Got my tick chart loaded up, ready to go. I just threw one contract at it short to fill the gap. Like, why the hell not? I don't normally do this, guys. I'll normally just jump in on a short. I just feel it for whatever reason. There's no strategy for this, so I'm just kind of off the cuff here. Other than Res just took a couple of ticks down with some bad news, and we've been seeing some negative resilience pressure since about midday. And essentially, I just plopped a contract. The R&R on this is like so small, it's not even worth playing. I should be like playing a couple micros on it. I don't think we're gonna sell off, but just in case we do. Chances are it continues to chop for the rest of the day. But we do have, now again, because res is negative, I don't bet that it does sell off. Usually I will short off of that if I ever did take it. And it's not an A+ setup either. It's just like it's a setup. It's not the best one, but it's something. Hey, what's up, Tom? Glomex is much better trading. Bro, it's been so bad today. How'd you do today, man? Did you... It's just been like a boring, choppy nightmare of a day for most people. I did okay. Like, I didn't really do too bad, but it's been kind of a nightmarish sort of day for a lot of people. Like, this chop is horrible for a lot of people. Huge fan, but why do I always say you're going to take a trade for funsies? It just means that I am taking it's not really an A+ setup. There's like not really a good trade. For fun is just one contract in one account, just in case some move takes off. So it just means I'm just doing something for the fun of it. I'm not looking for a big return or reward. It's mostly just like I'm just taking a gamble bet with a small position just for fun, because I do feel like it's probably going to pull back. Mostly because the stocks are selling off, but I'm not sure if it pulls back from here. It might actually go up to there and then fight and hang out there all day, and I could be wrong. So because of that, I'm flipping a coin with one contract. That's really what it means. It means like it's not an A+ setup. How did each side of the market experience the same uptick and downturn? That's just how those algos work, man. But yeah, negative resilience is concerning, right? The news was decent, but resilience has been ticking down a little bit and some of the stocks have been selling. So it could be a big possible closing selling pressure to close out the day. And there's no reason that I chose here other than that's internal to this particular range that we've been trading in. Nice base hits. That's good, Tom. It's good to hear it. Wait, 916 or 2x a phase? Nice, bro. That's awesome. That's what today's been for like a lot of people. I'm glad you made money today, man. That's awesome. For a lot of people, it's just like this is like base hitting days, you know, for a lot of people. My funded futures deal tomorrow. Everybody's doing 4th of July sales this week. So all the good deals will come out tomorrow. I will be the first to tell you the big deals. Trust me. I know them. I can't leak them accidentally. I gotta be cool. Globex for the last 3 to 4 weeks has been amazing. Oh God, it's been like the best, right? Waking up to 100 point, 200 point Nasdaq moves. Oh yeah, it's been super great. How am I doing? What's up, Toes? I've been doing pretty good. It's been a good winning day. I was up about 3 or so grand, and then I decided to just plop a short contract off of this news event here. Just if I get anything good out of it. $200. I like it. When I say for funsies, I'm just trying to be goofy with saying I'm really just gambling. There's no good setup here. So gambling meaning like coin flipping. Like my confidence is not extremely high on the trade. It just means I'm coin flipping. And because I know the range is very tight, one contract up or down the 60 points range that you're kind of sitting in, $1,200 this way, $1,200 that way, I'll gamble with $1,000 is basically what I'm saying. So I'm flipping a coin from the high after that event just to say I can make $1,000 if we fall. But in reality, I'd like to see the market dump to hedge pressure while just snap that long up across the board, and a lot of the accounts would be kind of nice. And we'll see. Bum, 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 bum. Look at that. For funsies, $400. Well, Res was starting to trade down and down and down. And the reason I did this, guys, and again, this is what I teach in Res, is that we had an uptick and the market's dancing around with upticks on the index while resilience is getting worse. It's usually bad form to jump in and short in the middle of something. Like I wouldn't have done that if we didn't have that event. So I'm using the event span range to understand that that's the range we're testing in. I decided to, at the high right here, just jump in on something. Normally, I would wait for us to get closer to here to make a small short setup. We don't teach it as our strong short setups to do. But I tell you guys on occasion, I'll short when the timing's there and it makes sense. And right here, like I said, I acknowledge this is a pure gamble. It's a one contract gamble. I'll either make 1,000, lose 1,000, whatever. Go with it. You'd love a 2% dump? Oh, yeah, 100%. What's up, Mike? By the way, congrats today on winning the contest. I remember your name. Buying your first account, would you recommend buying today with the Pogo or wait for the July promo? Hold on. You didn't hear it from me, but wait till the July 4th. You didn't hear it from me. It's a really good deal. I'll be screaming it more often than pretty much a lot of them. The My Funded futures, all of them are having really good deals, but the MFF deal is going to be pretty damn good. Mike, shh, fuck up. Mike, shut up. God damn it. Mike, fucking throw me under the bus, bro. You're gonna get me fired. I'm just kidding. It's not like it's a bad deal. It's not like it's that much of a better deal. They're all great deals. Amazing trade. It's not really. It's probably gonna lose. In all honesty, I could scalp at the half gap to make sense, but this is like, let me hold to see if we just dump to fill gap today. Just why not? I managed to turn all my accounts I was trading green. I had no losing accounts, thank God. My 2 trades today were right out the door. I took a long from here to retrace, and then res went negative on Nasdaq. I just cut out while I was chopping. It fell again one more time. Res was positive. I longed one more time, and then I cut out. And then I didn't do anything. And I just waited. The market just chopped all day. And then on my funded TV, I did get in and take like a 1 long, I think in like 2 or 3 of the accounts. My memory's bad now. But I longed in a bunch, like right up here. And then essentially when we just went up to here, I closed out. Because I didn't think it was going to go all the way. Think you got the Futures Desk account you won this morning? Oh, dude, that's awesome. Fernandez, you're gonna love it. Hey, babe, what's up? Whoa! Wow, what? What is this?
It's a Powerball because I had a feeling you were gonna stop to eat.
Guys, check this out. Look at this. Wow, I don't deserve you, man. You're great.
Everything's freshly cooked and made.
Why you dressed up? Who you seeing? What's his name? Who you calling? Who you cheating on me with?
That's creepy.
The balloons?
My balloons.
I've been listening here all day, like sitting here. You look nice, but you look nice by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Are you streaming later?
I am streaming right now. I've been streaming your whole meal.
I knew it.
Yeah, I'm cheating on you with like a bunch of other dudes.
With a bunch of dudes.
With a bunch of dudes.
Fuck. So I've been hearing all day. I keep hearing the balloons go, and I keep turning around thinking like you're opening the door or something.
Oh, you're expecting me? That's
yeah.
so cute.
No, whatever.
So what you have here, sir?
Oh yeah, tell the audience what we're eating today. This is today's lunch for Lunch Money with
fresh
Matt.
ground turkey with avocado tomatoes and a fresh sunny side up egg that I birthed from a chicken myself. I'm just kidding. And some beans over a bed of moist rice. Although I really shouldn't use the word moist because I know that's a trigger word for many people. I hate
the word moist. It is the worst word in the English language. Oh my God. Tyler's giving you props. Moist, yummy. See, look, you got Tyler going now. Listen. Why did you start with him?
I'm sorry.
Oh my God. Thank you, babe.
Yeah, you're welcome. And thanks, I also got your thingy because I know he likes to put this on his food. It's the best thing ever. Dude,
chipotle mayo. Oh, dude, it's like the best.
Yeah.
You are awesome, babe. Thank you so much. This is really cool. I was like starting to get really hungry.
Yeah, I'm making sure that you eat.
I know. Hey, are we gonna work out today or what?
Yeah, we can. What do you do? One sweat or yoga?
I
think you need yoga. I think it'll be good for both of us. Do yoga.
All right, let's do yoga then.
We can do it at 5:30 or 7:30.
Oh, I was just thinking what? I could just put that in there.
Oh yeah.
Oh, thank you. You don't have to. Let's do it.
Bye.
Have fun streaming. I'll let you know if your cable comes in.
Yeah, I would like to desktop stream. I hate taking my chat around town.
Okay. Dude, Powerball. The worst word ever. Moist. Blah. Blah. Every time I think of moist, I think of mold. Like moldy. Like an attic. Like somebody would describe an attic as being moist. Look at this. I'm not even getting the big sell-off. Nasdaq resilience is starting to get negative and negative and negative, even more negative as we are ticking up in the Nasdaq here. Bum, 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 bum. More stocks are losing. This is why I just planted a contract. Blah, blah, blah. Can I do my fun gamble trade with like one more account? See, this just swung up and down like 400 bucks. Resilience is getting worse on every bounce. It means the pivot gets weaker. So the trick is here is that every time you see more and more and more stocks losing their gap, right? The pivot gets weaker. It went up this high, and now it's probably going to go up this high before it pulls back again. The pivot gets weaker when the stocks get worse. Okay. So it's like the rarest sort of thing to see that this is somehow magically going to rally like this. If more of the market cap is now down here. Watch, this is just the algorithms playing around. So just for funsies, let me grab this in one more account. I gotta stop saying that. Sounds like I don't have a plan. I do have a plan. Let's get down below. Let's get to business down in here. Be right back. Need a towel. Tyler, does she have a sister? Yeah, but her sister is taken. So nice. What's iDoc's Twitch? Oh yeah, hold up. Let me give it to you guys. Let's go. You guys can see behind the scenes of our like remodeling of our house and all the stuff she's doing. She streams a bunch of fun things like hold up. Pickle's at Grandma's house today, so we don't have Pickle. Oh, it's more like instead of I always say wrong Comtown. It's more like a Powerball, like just basic stuff, like turkey and rice. Got that WAP. Dun, 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 dun. What's the difference between monthly res and weekly res? They're tiebreakers at different points. So the example is the white line is the tiebreaker I use here. The monthly res is the tiebreaker I use here. So if we were interacting with this orange pivot, I'll use the orange one as my pivot. Like my confluence on my pivot. So right now, I mean, for the white one, like I said, I'm just gambling with one just in case we fill the gap. And resilience is getting slightly worse on the S&P, slightly worse. So the bounce should get less and less prominent, I would say. And this is like essentially the index is being squeezed higher without a lot of the movement from the stocks. So this is why I just say I planted a contract just to see if I can get something. And it's not a good entry. That's why when I get to it, I qualify it to you guys and say it's not really the best one. There's no proof that the index is selling off, right? But some of the stocks are losing momentum. So with this, what usually can happen is that the market can go up and fill the gap and then sell off, which is why I'm never in a hurry to jump in and like chase this on all my accounts, believing market's going to die or whatever. And I usually don't shorten bull markets, but inside of this, I'd be willing to maybe make an attempt at a play. Resilience is never wrong. It's just early. Problem is how early can it be? And that's kind of the boat you're usually in this kind of boat, which is why I just put something tiny on it. I'm still very bullish this market though. So I have no desire to like short for a big thing, to bet on a reversal, to bet that the market dives out. Low volume, I don't think there's any real reason for markets to move either direction. This is just a connection play that I want to see that the stock's selling a little lower, that the index somehow does meet a lower target to me where the stocks are. Essentially, if that makes sense. So as it becomes less strong, there's less market cap pushing higher. This technically should be resistance. And so I've been using resilience this way for years. It's super good. There's resistance. And so what I do think is that this is going to be like a tiny little bull trap here. Pop up, and then the stock is going to like bring the rest of the index a little lower. And not that I think this is going to happen, but the possibility of filling the gap is pretty decent. And that's what I feel like we'll get. Unless this line here pops above 0, the S&P is now stretched from the sum of the stocks below it. Resilience is very rarely wrong about this. I thought you said this turkey was moist. I'm just kidding. Oh, Iduck's Twitch. Yeah, let's go troll her really quick. Let's go say hey. Y'all want me to tell you something really funny? We went on a date like a long time ago when we first met. And we got like Wagyu steak. It was just this like day we went on. We got Wagyu steak. And the restaurant gives you a certificate, like authentic Wagyu, and it's got like the cow's nose print on it and whatever. And just to be funny, we framed that certificate of authenticity, kind of like when Michael Scott framed his watch certificate to hang instead of a diploma. So as an inside joke, we framed our authentic Wagyu certificate that we got. And that's what was on that. So people come over, they're like, is that it just says like, why do you have this framed? It says certificate of authenticity for like a steak. And we're like, we just thought it was funny. Certificate of authenticity. There's the cow. There's where it's from, the region of Japan. There's the nose print. And it's like, just to remember our first date. So she framed it as an inside joke. So I don't know what she's working out over there. Do I trade anything besides ES and NASIC? On the stream, usually not. Usually stream is the focus of that. I do trade options on occasion. I'll swing trade, but that's basically it. Can I use Rocket Scooter with other funded accounts? So you can't trade prop firm accounts inside of here. You can only trade live accounts, like real accounts inside of Rocket Scooter or connecting a broker. Prop firm accounts don't really work with us, but you can use the software for like informational purposes and then do what I do is keep your prop firm open to the side. Kavish. Dude, yeah. If you made $1,500 on this crappy day, I told you earlier, if I were in your boat and I wasn't streaming, I'd have to entertain people for funsies. I would be happy. I'd walk away with what I had. I feel like a day like this would be gambling any further. But here's my nod to like I think Resilience is going to do. Like I said, it's going to have a harder time rallying. This pivot is becoming weaker each time you touch it. With more stocks filling their gap into the holidays, this is just an arbitrage play. All right, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go bathroom. Y'all hang tight. Y'all yell at me if I lose money. I'll hear you. So if you guys know, iDoc is one of the mods here as well, and I'm also one of the mods there. Feel free to go over and say hey if y'all want to go. Give y'all the link. Drop in, share your support, say hi. Sometimes her and I will stream and it's just us like doing stuff, like going places or cooking dinner or something.
Do not this whole deduction shit on me.
What is she saying?
1 to 75 over the level 1 to 75 in the past 5 years. Are you making moist turkey again? No, I'm not. You know what I am making? Dry bread. You didn't even wait for this. Do you see this? It's dry bread. No, I'm just kidding. I'm trying to make moist bread. Please don't chat. Wait, why are you on my stream, Matt? Aren't you streaming to your people? Unless you're casting me, which means I'm not watching you, which means I don't even.
Because the market's dead. We're bored.
It's like the worst mod ever. Ever.
That's so funny.
Remember, the market is dead. You need to. Okay, first of all, Matt, is
dead market.
D on Twitch is not dead, and I think it's Dej. Yeah, I see him. Oh my god, now I see you now. Oh shit. Okay, stop. What does she stream about? I'm watching him now.
She's watching us. We're watching her. It's hilariously meta. Okay. What does she normally stream about? Like, they call it IRL streaming, which is just like filming yourself living and doing normal stuff. So she'll film herself doing anything, like projects around the house, cooking, walking through the store, sitting at the beach. So IRL streaming is just like, here's me doing my life like normal. Each time it touches the pivot, the liquidity gets eaten up and the floor becomes weaker. Yeah, and that's basically what's happening, Helpful. That's the way we look at it, is that each time it hits the pivot, it's not only the liquidity is getting eaten up, but also because the stocks themselves are mostly filling their gaps now. More market cap has filled their gap. And ultimately, there becomes less and less pressure to keep that spring like this, where the index is here and stocks are here, that the algos just quickly collapse the two together. And that's basically the part that we're looking at now. Is that maybe the market making thing quickly connect to where the stocks will be, as in like we find a lower low than this. But yeah, you nailed it, 100% helpful. Is that liquidity gets gobbled up, and that's the one thing that is forcing.
Okay,
wait.
Hold on 1 second.
Oh, is she still live? Hold up. Let me mute that really quick. And once that liquidity gets gobbled up, the mechanism to bring it down would just be to match where the stocks are actually priced at, which is much lower. And if the stocks are filling their gaps, I'm more likely to want to be in the trade to see if that happens. But like I said, this is not a good short to take, but because we're not, normally if the market was moving quick, I would wait to short off of something. But because the market's not moving, I waited to short off of the high of this range. That's the only something that we're going to get. And here comes the move. Hopefully we can get, it's going to try to bounce here, but hopefully this is the break of it. And we'll see. Did I do good, chat? Did I do all right? Was this good? Even justifying it. Terrible entry. Kept the choice small because coin flip, right? I could close out for 400, but we could see what else we get, you know, like. Ba-bum, ba, ba-bum. Stock diving a little harder. Let's get that sell, baby. Let's get that big red coming. Is that really good? Thank you, Jonathan. Appreciate it. Like I said, and then of course I'm not like super, you know, excited to jump in on what I consider to be a pretty justified, decent entry for a good reason. But in a normal market, I wouldn't jump in right there in the middle of the range either, like I did here. I just, you know, we just didn't get any normally I would wait for the momentum to take the choice, but let's see if we get it. Ow. Oof. It makes you happy when Matt shorts like the 1 out of 10 times I do it. Yeah, I really have to justify it pretty hard, but at least today was all winning day, all my accounts, which was good. Market feeling heavy here. I think you guys are getting it, man. It's pretty nice. But you see how resilience is indicating this. And we had that lead all the way from the start of the day. And now you see as it's moving higher, as I tell you guys, I literally draw the line on here so y'all can see the same thing. Resilience is a telltale sign. That's why resilience is such a damn good indicator. We had that warning sign even right here. The minute it popped, dropped, and came back, res was just negative. So what's happening is once that short squeezing liquidity dies up, the algorithm is just snapping back into place, pricing the futures to equal the stocks. Now, even so, I could be happy making 500 bucks here. I could also be long if it does sell off. I really don't care to. Either way, I've been holding through this the whole time, but hell, let's just see what it get. Maybe see what we get. Turns out to be pretty good. Right? The rare times Matt shorts the market. So rare. Oh, yeah. You just pass an eval on that short. There you go. You swear you pass more Apex accounts on accident? That's hilarious, Beal. Dear Lord, please bless us with a big fat red. Let's go. A big fat red dildo. That would even work even better. Yeah, the confluence is good, and that's kind of what we're looking for. And again, how far can it go? Maybe to fill the gap. But even so, even shorting it back to half gap is technically where that pivot can be. This is the smart trade. I should close out, which is the smart thing. Or I can just hold for more. But just knowing to short to snap back in half gap where that pivot is, the stocks could pick up a bid here at any point in time. So maybe what I can do is just take profit. I'm just gonna take profit because that was just a for fun trade. And you guys, I don't know if y'all feel like doing it, but I don't feel like the market has got enough volume to do anything, to be honest. But that was just a smart. And again, if this starts to get worse, it could probably sell off. And I don't even care anymore. I got my 40 points. I'm all right. You're correct in that you say teach that your contract size should be based on the CME's overnight margin cost. Normally in a real futures account, yeah. And for prop firm accounts, they have different rules. Wait, Yunus Yahamedi? You're number 9 out of 700 people on the Ninja Trader tournament? No way, dude. We can't trade properly on eval. You blow up in a day. That's the psychology of it, man. Sometimes it's like that. You go funded, you go live. It's a whole different psychology. But dude, I'm so glad to see friends of mine and people from the stream out there crushing it. I love seeing it. You guys winning contests and just killing it out there, man. Any tips? Well, I would say the evals are definitely much harder than a real funded tournament. That's kind of or a real funded account, usually with less rules. Evals are designed to make you lose faster. If anything, if you're blowing up in one day, it definitely means you're betting too big. And general, in the boot camp, we teach you position sizing rules for prop firms. And so with prop firms, I would say, what's your average size that you take and what's the drawdown you usually have, Yunus? Let me know. I'll see if I can't see if I believe you're trading too big. Maximum level funsies, right? Yeah. Just trading a half gap twice. It is looking a little worse, but what could happen is that the stocks could pick up a bid and the market could just go. But trading a half gap was just for boredom. So you guys just consider watching me do something. At least I justify why, even as a learning experience. It's not one of our highest probability setups, but I get to walk you through and justify why I'd make a decision to begin with. Maybe I'll learn something from that, hopefully. You started using you as a confluence, and my win percentage was up like 15%. You found out that the MAC confluence indicator points up 90% of the time. If I tried Forex, no, I've never done Forex, man. Never. Give me a Drake candle on the downside. I know, right? Let's get it. Good call, Scooters. You got the whole run. Let's go. Usually about 1/2 of a mini, risking 350 for 700. That's actually really smart. I mean, I wouldn't say that you're doing anything bad. That's roughly what I would do in most of my prop firms with a couple thousand drawdown, right? Going for 350 to 700 is great because on 1-to-1, that gives you like 2 or 3 days before you bust. So if you're busting in one day, it means you might be losing multiple trades. What I think that the thing that you could work on is not position size. You got that down, is entry efficiency. So you might be like shorting at the wrong spot or longing at the wrong spot. Not that I'm plugging our boot camp, but learning how to wait for your pivot to make sure you get in exactly the right spot. An example is today, right? The market dipped a little. If you long there or long there or long there, it's the wrong spot. This was the right spot. So maybe you need to refine your pivot so you can get better R&R on your trades. As with 300 to 700, I would say your position sizing is good. Like from my perspective, that's what I do. No different than what I do. So usually that's everybody's biggest problem. I was expecting you to say you got 2 or 3 minis or something. So that's good. You just need a better entry mechanism, like a good place to identify where to get in at. And, you know, we have techniques for that, but obviously anybody has different techniques on entries. Like right now, what am I waiting for? Well, if we flush all the way down into here, I can long off of that. Not going to long here or there or there. I'm going to long here because that is the right place to be wrong from, with minimal loss than longing here, having it dive to there, and then missing out on the play. So finding better volume pivots is probably the next step I'd say in your journey. Mac out board, so you made a few hundred. 400, I think. But this is just a boring day, and we might get a good gap fill. That'd be kind of nice. How do I approach trailing drawdown? Yeah, you have to take profit sooner, Nikki. That's the rule. How I approach trailing drawdown is I don't trade those accounts. That's my rule. I hate trailing drawdown. But right, you have to take profit sooner. Go for base hits, 1-to-1 trades if you can. If the market, if you're going to lose 40, make 40 NASDAQ. You're going to lose 10, make 10 S&P and close out. If you allow yourself to make a lot more than that, the probability is high that it squeezes and then snaps back and the drawdown gets you. So get your 10 points S&P, get your 40 points NASDAQ and call it. And also don't trade to the short side. If you can identify, Nikki, that the markets are selling off, short trades are more volatile than long trades. The first thing I teach people with trailing drawdown is trade when volatility is in decline. Long trades tend to tighten up as they go higher. Short trades tend to widen as they go lower. So avoid short markets, sell-off markets, and try to find the day when you think it's long and long only, and then wait out on sell days. That's the very biggest trick to pass trader funding programs or trailing drawdown. Volatility is your enemy. So you want to get in and get out quick. You know what I mean? That's a really good trick, which means you'll be sitting out more. But if you got the patience, I'll tell you it's worth it. That's really what I did when I was doing Apex. If it was like a sell-off day, like a day like this, screw a day like this, right? It's choppy, nothing's going anywhere. But normally nice bull runs or market dips to somewhere, then I'd take a long off of a pivot. But if I think it's selling off, I'm certainly not going to try to jump in on a short. I'll avoid short days and sit out so I don't have to play the volatility. Is S&P resilience more important than NASDAQ's? 100%. S&P resilience is the entirety of the stock market sectors. NASDAQ is just healthcare, telecom companies and tech companies. So NASDAQ is an incomplete index that doesn't represent the entire stock market. So the S&P will always take precedent. If the S&P resilience is negative and NASDAQ is positive, the S&P is what you trust, because it's telling you every sector is pulling back as a whole, or more of all the sectors, nothing's rotating. If NASDAQ is pulling down and S&P is flat, it usually means people are selling tech and buying energy or something. When markets are rotating, they're liquid and they stay flat. If you see the S&P pulling down and Nasdaq's flat, trust the S&P. If you see Nasdaq up, S&P down, trust the S&P. If you see S&P up, Nasdaq down, trust the S&P. Always S&P. It'll be the more cleaner of the two. Now today, Nasdaq was negative most of the day, but S&P was still kind of close to zero. And as you see, even though Nasdaq was negative, the market spent most of the day kind of trickling up, didn't it? Because the S&P showed rotation. At the start of the day, we sold off in some tech. We probably had that money rotate into something else. And now that they're both finally negative from this point forward, we clearly see the trajectory has shifted from moving up to moving down. There's a clear inflection point there. When it's no longer rotating from one to the other, it's now everything's selling off, which basically means people are pulling money out and going to cash, just straight selling. They're not buying anything else. Whatever you use Apex static account, then no, don't. None of you should use Apex static account. It's absolute garbage. ETFs is 3 times better with 3 times the drawdown for roughly similar price. Apex static is $625 of drawdown. You can't navigate through that without trading micros. You'll never get to your profit target. It's Apex static account. I like to play. I like to say that it's just like you're just giving your money to Apex. ETFs is a fat $2,000 drawdown. Best in class. There's no reason you wouldn't go to ETF instead of Apex for the static. With 3 times the drawdown gives you so much more fat to play. Patience position sizing was your personal game changer, Matt. Oh, thanks, Gold Digger. Sorry, thanks, Matt. That's what he said. Appreciate that. That's it. Position sizing and patience. That's really key here. Definitely what happened today. Your entry just kept on missing, and each time you got a good entry, it peaked like $500 reversal. I like, Eunice, that you're actually trading with very good risk management. Your positions management's good. Your sizing is good. You're just getting unlucky or bad entries, and so that really means you've gotten over the biggest hurdle, which is managing your trade very well. You just need to make better trades, and that's the easier part, is finding a better system to get in and get out at. Some more news, maybe. Is Trump talking on Truth Social? What's going on here? So what I like to hear is that, tell you, is that you definitely have overcome the hardest hurdle. Apple must face a U.S. antitrust lawsuit accusing of monopolizing the smartphone market. Court ruling on Apple. Look at Apple fucking moving around here. What is Wall Street like better? The fact that they're facing a lawsuit, or the fact that they're monopolizing the smartphone market? I guess that might be good for Apple because I guess Wall Street's like, oh, let's bet on the monopoly. Let's see. Apple considers using outside AI to fix Siri and major reversal. Okay. That's kind of cool. That's the news, yeah. Outside AI to fix Siri. So basically open AI. Is that what it is? Alta? Ah, okay. So I'd say with your strategy, because you're betting the right size units, I would say try something different. Obviously, if you come to our boot camp, it's not really a plug for that. But we teach you a method on identifying pivots. Like, here's the right pivot, there's the right pivot, there's the right pivot. Instead of trying to chase a trend or chase momentum, I'm waiting for something to happen and then attacking. It gives me more efficient entries because I have a reason to do something instead of just letting the movement draw me into a trade and attract me to a trade. Why would I short here? Why would I long here? Well, the index is tracking the stocks. Right now, most of the stocks have filled their gap to the downside. We're now in the middle of the gapped range on SPY. This is equivalent SPY for S&P futures converted. We're at the middle, and the stocks are mostly filling their gap, so it's less likely that the S&P goes this way rather than this way, and therefore from the middle-ish, I'm more likely to bet that it stays lower. And then, of course, from the majority of this afternoon, the lower is better, even though it's not crashing and selling off because we're still in a strong bull market. I know that I would make whatever bet from here rather than chasing a short to try to gain a little bit. I'm waiting. So like an example is this pop we just had could be a short opportunity to fill the gap. And maybe to demonstrate just for funsies, maybe I can grab one more to demonstrate that. Just to pretend. Now, this might be a $500 lesson I'm willing to do for you, which is cool. So let's pretend like I'm wrong. Let's do the R&R really quick. This is not the best bet in the world, so I'm going to trade small because that's not super best bet, but the confluence is definitely there. It's not confluence that will sell off because it's a nice strong bull market, but there's confluence that I can bet that we stay below this pivot because it should probably track the stocks. Now it's 635 to 620. Oh, I trade it in NASDAQ. Okay, by proxy. Let's just pretend this is NASDAQ. 35 to 20 is about 15 points, which is roughly equal to 60 points on NASDAQ. So if I were to do 60 points on the same trade, at one contract is $1,200. If it goes the other way against me, which is roughly the same amount, it's roughly $1,200. And so I can say my normal target on this is to lose $2,000 a day to make $2,000. $1,200 is well within the range, so my risk management's on point. Another direction is wrong. Now I can decide how I want to bail on this trade. The example is if this goes positive, it means the stocks are picking up a bid there, and we're likely to support here rather than resistance. So because it's resistance, I'm not just betting that the market falls, I'm betting that it's resistance. And the idea that you're betting for a reason is the reason to do anything. I'm not betting on direction at all because our theory is that the stock market is random. You can't guess direction. It's 100% random. But I'm using clues to make a bet that this is resistance. And whether I'm right or wrong, it doesn't matter. If I'm wrong from the right spot. I'm not upside down 500 points trying to chase a short. I'm shorting from here upside down, nothing at the point that matters, right? So that's the idea, is that I'm betting that something happens and I'm the first one in that bet. Market's popping and I'm the first one to tap the short. And this is just an example bet, and it's not the strongest bet. It's decent. I'd call it a B-ish setup, but I'm just basically not betting that the market sells off or crashes. I'm just betting that we stay below here. And it doesn't mean it has to fall from here, but it means if it starts doing this and this and this, I'm going to know I'm wrong pretty quickly from at least the right spot. Somebody chasing the short would be way upside down if they were wrong. But the idea that I'm making the bet at the right spot really helps with my, what I call my entry efficiency, because I'm not taking a bad entry. It's not a high probable trade, but at least for the lesson for you, I'm willing to lose $500 to teach you. Even if I just cut my trade halfway up here, what is this? That would be 60% of 42. So basically like $500 of loss if I stop here to make $1,200 of gain. So it's a 2.2 to 1 trade just for the sake of a demo, right? Not necessary to implement or to get Rocket Scooter platform. This kind of like education about position sizing and stuff will work with anybody's entry or exit methods. The platform gives you a style of entry and exit methods, which is high volume pivots. It's a different style, but the principles you can use them with any style. Like ICT traders come through here and have called what we teach their missing piece, because it's extra confluence on top of like that momentum-based style of trading. And again, this is not the best setup in the world. I just tapped it with one contract just to teach a lesson. And that way, if I stop, I'm going to teach you what it's like to stop at the right place. I'm certainly going to know that I'm wrong if this starts to go higher, or if this starts to go higher more than a tolerance that I have. But at least I'm making the trade from roughly the right spot. And that's really what's important. Now, NASDAQ has moved faster than the S&P right now. Oops. It's like NASDAQ just kind of like weird NASDAQ data. That's kind of weird looking. Okay, let me see if I can trigger something. And let me refresh. All my candles have disappeared. Let's just refresh. The bootcamp we do is extremely popular in this group, and it starts at market close. And like I said, try different things to see what works. And if you go through our bootcamp, it's only $20 actually for a whole month. And that's it. We do it for $1 a class for a reason, to stay inexpensive for a reason. There's the link for it. And we teach those basic fundamentals. Trend identification. Like, I'm in this trade. I'm like, it's not that great of a trade. It's not the best. Not that great, but at least I'll know I'm wrong very quickly and I can cut out pretty quick. My control is much better because I'm trading for a reason rather than just trading for a direction. The reason is, and I grabbed it with NASDAQ on accident, but by proxy, we'll also take the NASDAQ bet. I'm betting that we don't break here on the S&P. So NASDAQ will probably stay tight. Now, as you see, as it's kind of going against me, I'm up and down a couple $100. Whereas, my total stop, I'd be willing to lose maybe 500 for the lesson. So I know that I'm wrong from the right place, which is part of the thing that we teach you. Trend identification, high volume pivots, betting sizes and strategies, risk management, like how much to bet and stuff. And then market avoidance, like when to sit out. And these are all parts of the bootcamp. There's 20 solid courses. You can learn the style that I trade and use the platform as an additional thing, but it's not necessary. Even if you just watch the stream, it's helpful to know like why I'm doing what I'm doing. Yeah, right. And then the stock pops on that news. Apple is powering Siri with OpenAI tech. Apple hasn't made the final decision, is still considering its own models. Interesting news. Start a new. Well, I appreciate that, man. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Just not out of my existing strategy. We still need rock cedar. What I would say, Hamath, if you are considering using the platform, it's confluence on top of what you do. An example is if you have a pivot or something you normally do, Rocket Security uses a whole different style to make analysis than typical traditional technicals. If you're using patterns or charts or candles, you may say, okay, maybe this is a breakout. And then you might have a second layer and say, oh, well, you know what? As a confluence, like now as an example, if I had a possibility for a breakout long, I'd use this as a caution to not make a trade. I wouldn't change anything I would normally be doing, but I could use some of the techniques here to become additional confluence to what I was already doing. And the ICT traders that come through here tell me that they use our stuff to like not take every trade that sets up. Like I get a good setup, they go, ooh, I didn't take it. They happen to not chase a bull trap a lot of the times because maybe resilience says we might fill the gap lower. So while this might squeeze me, and just for the lesson, I might lose, what is it, my $500, which is what I was thinking I would close out at. While I might get squeezed and it goes up to here, at least it's in control. And while I did make $500 there, I just gave it back to teach you guys a lesson. And I even said I'll cost you $500 if I'm wrong, but at least it's still controlled because this account is still up like $700 for the day. But that's why I live stream. Like most people live stream because they need you to help pay their apartment rent and shit. I live stream because I'm even risking my account to teach you guys a lesson. Let me close out $600. Now I could be right and it could reverse and sell off, but the control, right? I'm at least wrong from the right place, and that's very important, right? So no trading strategy works on its own, but the trader's mentality and application is what makes people, like what makes trading work. It's like how the person applies themselves in the market. So neat thing is that at least I got in and out the right place, and I'm still green for the day. Like I'm still way green for the day. And while in a normal sense, I never would have taken that trade, I did it to demonstrate. I literally gave you $500 as far as a lesson goes. I literally said, I'm going to lose $500. This is a terrible trade. And if I lose, I'll teach you that I just lost from the right place. And that's what makes my stream different from other people, because I don't give a fuck about losing money. I'm here to help. Really, for real. I just said this is a lesson for you guys. So I lost in perfect control, and guess what? Now I'm out of the way, and it could have been much, much, much worse. So how many people you know will actually demonstrate purposefully a trade that's likely to lose just for the lesson? I had the control I wanted, the same thing I wanted. That account's still up for the day. I don't even care. But here we got the resilience went positive, so now the stock's picking up some momentum. So How are monthly maps looking? Let's double check. And that's why it's still good. And you know it. You know how to read this. So monthly maps are still rock solid for the month. Non-liquid, non-volatile. VIX is also in decay. Nice strong bull setup. Everything's super clean on S&P. NASDAQ, a little dirtier, but still clean. Like a little choppier on NASDAQ, but still certainly good. Maybe 200 points of range on the dailies. So that's actually not that bad. Slightly more volatile in S&P, but still good. The boot camp is recorded, yeah. So the sessions are recorded. If you can come to the live, it's just an extra boost. So there it is. And again, the whole training program is not, there's no additional cost. That's it. It is what it is. The whole program is designed to be 20 bucks. Basically, we don't make anything off of it. And it's because we do really think that, you know, you guys come through our stream. We think that here, that education should be the cheapest part of any program. I think a lot of people really want to sell you something. And for our thing, you know, our point of sale is clearly the platform. Just to be straight up honest with you, you know, that's how the Rocket Scooter Corporation makes money. The platform and the marketplace and all that. The education, a lot of people bank on selling you education for very expensive. And our belief has always been that education should be the least expensive part of anybody's experience when it comes to trading, because how do you value the cost of education when you're paying somebody to teach you? It's hard to set a value to that. The real education you get is paying your money to the stock market and losing it. So how good would I be if I'm making you pay me to teach you, and then you have nothing left to really learn, which is fight in the stock market with it? So our thing was, let's make it as cheap as we can, and then you guys can save as much money and go out there and battle the props and battle with your accounts and stuff. And it's always been that way. And it's always been 20 bucks for a month. And people have resonated very well with that decision. And we'll never, like, people are like, okay, so what happens after 20? Is there like a rug pull? Like, hey, to learn the rest, is it $500 extra? That's it. It's 20 bucks and you get the whole thing. And trend, like strategic avoidance, shorting or longing because of something, like because you want something to happen, not just chasing a trend. Like right now, see, we are pressing to the upper half of the box because the stock's finally caught up fast enough. And now this is support for the day. Now, I wasn't anticipating that, but we got that little signal right back here where the stock started gaining some momentum. And then I quickly got out of the way before it got worse, right? This was an example of the confluence you can use with other strategies. Is once res went positive, the index bumped up here and res went positive. I just closed out right here. And the loss could have been much bigger had I held on another 50 points on NASDAQ. So you see how I quickly bailed on the trade once I lost the confluence. I could have been down 1,500 bucks had I kept holding, right? Yeah. So looks like at the end of the day, people were grabbing those stocks fueled by that Apple news right there. Apple started picking up a lot of momentum. I'm curious why that's good news for Apple, though. It sounded like Siri is a major selling point. Well, I guess probably because Siri is weak and OpenAI is better. It's probably why it's moving. I don't know. ESP strategy, is it what bill has passed? What's Victor? It's too late to join the current boot camp, Bob? No, it's not. It's we're on class number 5 today of 20. So we do it every 2 months and we just started. You might have some catch up to do, but it's not hard to catch up. The very first 2 classes are the most important that set the tone. Then the remaining classes are all, each one teaches a different technique. So today is, I believe, the monthly maps class. Let me double check. You only have 4 classes to catch up on, and they're all pretty quick. So today is number 5. I think it's monthly maps. Yeah, we are on number 5 today. Tomorrow we do tomorrow's entry rules. That's one of the bigger ones, and our strongest bull and bear setups. Monthly hedge pressures the next day, DD bands and ratios the next day. So this is where the real good meat and potatoes of our different setups come from. Yeah. You don't understand prop accounts? You just trade your own account? Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Prop accounts are more for like traders who don't have the ability to fund themselves, or traders that want more of an educational experience by taking lower risk while they learn. And prop accounts are just essentially you pay per trade, and if you do well enough, they pay you. And it costs a monthly fee to do that. It's a cool new thing that's becoming very popular. And prop accounts, in like from somebody from my perspective, who also trades my own live funded account, and I trade well and I trade real money. The prop account is more for the demonstration of that for you guys. And that's really what made our stream kind of get popular, because that's what most of the traders are doing these days. And it's a lot harder to trade prop accounts. So it's really like, once you're advanced enough, the goal is to wean off of the prop accounts and fund yourself. So if you're already there, I mean, you're where you need to be. Apple towards MHP break. Oh, thank you for letting me know that. Damn. All right, Apple about to hit gamma squeeze territory. So this is where you start to see the pickup. And when I tell you guys what happens when you get to a gamma squeeze, is that when you approach MHP and break it, volume starts to pick up tremendously. So we'll keep an eye out on Apple from here, because up inside of here, volume will start to climb. And we'll see if that creates a squeeze event. I'll kind of watch that on it. Yep, Achi, they are recorded. Yes, yes, yes. You're debating on instant account on Tradeify or Top One Trader for Forex Instant. On which one? Tradeify is a more reputable company than Top One. As a matter of fact, these days, it's sort of become commonplace that most of the major influencers have refused to support Top One at the current time, because Top One has displayed some kind of behaviors that are kind of not, they're like small red flags. They're fixable over some time, but right now they're having a lot of issues with figuring out their risk management on their side, because they've made sweeping rule changes while people were halfway through trading their accounts. They've made sweeping rule changes and told the customers, sorry, this is the rule change, deal with it. Instead of retroactively honoring their previous rule, they essentially screwed over their customer base 4 times now, 4 big times, and just changing rules on people on the fly. And that just basically means they don't have a good grasp on the risk management side of their business, and therefore they're taking too much risk, and they're just sort of changing rules on the fly once they realize they're taking too much risk, which basically means their risk of solvency is very high. And the people in my boat have picked up on that. You take sweeping rule change on top of each other, and you tell your customers, sorry, deal with it. That's a last minute ditch effort to save yourself when your risk is too much, meaning that they may not have money to pay out traders. So that's a red flag. And most people have decided at this time that Top One is not a healthy company, at least the futures side, to support, because those rules are kind of weird. Now, again, giving them some time, and if they stabilize and fix this and kind of get their hands like in a place where things are stable, then maybe. But now I would say they've kind of lost faith with me and the rest of the community. Nothing bad about the firm in general. I never use them, but as a third party from the sidelines, I have no incentive to tell you anything other than the truth. Nobody pays me to say anything bad about them or anything. The truth is, if once you change the rules on everybody, I believe you should honor the existing customers. But the reason they couldn't only makes sense if you don't have the money to pay out people at the risk you're taking, meaning that the rules were too easy to bait people in. And then halfway through, they're like, sorry, you're making the rules harder. And if you don't like it, you can get a refund. I feel like that kind of business practice is bad form, and I would never support that as a choice. And so it's kind of a hot mess right now, as somebody said. And then again, nothing bad against the firm or the people there. I know very little about it, but I just look at the math, and the math of that in my head tells me it's a risky decision to stick with them. Meaning that what the worst can happen is you buy their account and then put in a month of work and they tell you to go fuck yourself. Sorry, we're changing the rules. You got to start over. And I remember when the reason that kind of took me over the edge was, y'all know Brett Simba, right? He's a good friend, trustworthy guy. His prop firm that he made is definitely following the rules that they make, and their rules are good and the risk management's good. And they're not like changing rules on the fly, right? And telling the customers deal with it. And Brett was trading with Top One and voicing his opinions about their rule changes, like this is risky, you guys, and informing you guys what you may not be able to see on the surface, but from the prop firm's perspective, which I understand too, because I'm kind of buried in the businesses and know how they all work. Brett was informing people this is risky behavior, and they didn't like it, so they banned him from trading with them. He was trading with them just to give them mutual respect and publicity, and they didn't like that he voiced his opinion on the riskiness of the firm, and they banned him. And when they were silencing customers at that point is when I decided to speak poorly against their practices. That was a big deal when they banned Brett, because he was voicing truth, and they should have owned up to it instead of saying, yeah, you guys, we have a really bad risk manager, we're going to fire them and get somebody better, or we just didn't know what we're doing. We're going to fix it and kind of get better. They were blaming their customers and blaming people and not taking responsibility. And with that, it's kind of more like, silencing your critics and not taking responsibility to save face, to me, is all signs of just someone I wouldn't support. I'd be more impressed if the prop firm was like, look, we got into this too quick. We took too much risk. We admit it. We don't know what we're doing, but we'll figure it out. Give us some time, give us some faith, and we'll work it out. I have total respect for that. I'm a business owner. I do a lot of guessing and testing along the way. Nobody gives me a framework of how to build a trading platform. I figure out as I go. I get it. You make mistakes, but you own up to it and tell people, hey, we messed up. Please give us a second chance. That you didn't get any of that with them. So that's the answer. They were red flagged from the start. Right when they came out, every influencer was saying they were reputable. Yeah, except for me. I never got on the train. I was one of the people that didn't. How would you know if they're reputable when they're new? Right. That's the thing. And it wasn't, because it was more of like the multi-level kind of approach of getting an influencer on board to tell them to get an influencer on board and press. It was more fluff than substance. And that's initially why I was like, oh no. I had some guy, like I always tell the joke, but I had some guy message me. He's like, yo, bro, you got to get in on this. And I'm like, don't bro me. What? Nah, bro, you got to get in on this. This is like the next big thing. And I was like, trade, bro, stop yapping, LOL. You guys are so funny. But yeah, the guy was like, I was like, don't bro me. Don't talk to me like that. You got to get in on this. I'm not going to buy into some idea. I don't even know you. I mean, I was like, I've seen you on social media, but don't try to get me in on your downline, bro. No thanks. I know you're just being funny. That's like somebody the other day was like, would they say less yapping, more trading? That guy. That was really funny. How do I get these indicators? Bradley, they're built into the Rocket Scooter platform, and you can get them from this website here. There's a half price trial, and they load up in this tool that we give you, this platform. What is ETF that has looser rules than MyFunded Futures? It's hard to compare the two because they have different products. MyFunded Futures specialize in end of the day drawdown. ETF's big selling point is they're static and they're straight to funded. So they don't really overlap, but they're both great. Hey, what's up? Is the rest of my lunch a loaf of bread?
Yeah. I just wanted to show you why I was downstairs in the kitchen for so long. Okay.
Hold on. Is this the rosemary or is this like regular bread?
Regular bread, so you can eat it with different things. I noticed that rosemary, you can only eat it with savory, like butter and stuff.
Dude.
Kept looking to tell on it.
Yeah, that's good, man.
Anyways,
look at that. That
screw
crust.
you guys for doubting my skills. I heard you. I read you.
Oh, snap.
The trading.
That looks really good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I was just gonna like bite right into the side of it. That'd be funny. But Tradeify, I would say if you're choosing between Top One and Tradeify, I personally have only traded with Tradeify. I have nothing but the best thing to say about Tradeify. I've experienced zero shenanigans with them. They're straight to funded. I get approved payouts within an hour. I get the money in my account the same day usually. By the book, super clean. Yeah, our bootcamp classes are recorded. And if you buy the platform, the bootcamp's actually free. So if you guys are subscribed to the platform, you can come to the bootcamp for free. That's kind of a perk of using the Rocket Seeder platform. All the stuff that we do bootcamp wise, you don't have to pay for it. It's a free perk. Alex said RSI, parabolic SAR, and VWAP are your main 3 indicators. VWAP's a very strong and powerful tool. So anything related to volume, I stand behind. I think it's good. Top One always says their products are discounted, and then you go to put the discount codes on them, what they say they are. Oh, I didn't know that. Did futures move before res this time? Sometimes, right? But the futures started picking up steam because one stock started moving, which triggered everything else. Apple grabbed a big fat reversal here. And then Apple started moving enough that other stocks picked up some momentum. So in this case, without Apple moving, we probably wouldn't have gotten this much power, but it did definitely spark a short squeeze. Resilience is usually a leading indicator for indices under most non-news-based conditions. This was a news event that flipped the script. Normally, it is a leading indicator almost in all conditions. Like all day today, I wasn't long for big breakout rally because they were not both strong. Nasdaq was weak, S&P was mild at 0. So right now S&P is slightly good, Nasdaq is still weak, which is just like we were at the beginning of the day, which is bullish enough to hold the market higher, but you're still not getting the full, I guess, you know, support from all the tech. But when S&P went positive, like right here, that's when I bailed on the short to demonstrate to being out of the way. Doesn't mean I'm going to jump in on a long, but it means I know I'm probably not going to get the sell-off that I wanted, right? And resilience is usually a leading indicator in most cases, yeah. Today it was a leading indicator to get out of the way. Once it went positive, here's when I trimmed my position and I got out of the way because it's a leading indicator. I saved myself another 40 points worth of move, right? Doubter skills, no bread for you. Yeah, I'm not gonna ever doubt her. Her bread's pretty damn good. When it comes to instant funded with good risk management, is it doable? Yeah, it is. Like I've been trading these accounts for 4 months now. I'm up about 150,000 in profit. I've taken about 50,000 of that as payouts. Very clean, very simple process. There's a 10-day, the instant funded, there's a 10-day payout cycle. You just got to trade for 10 days. You really only need to trade for 5 days to flip it the rest. But for your consistency, you need at least 5 days of trading. If you have good risk management, pretty simple to do. The straight to fund and Tradeify gives you a very fat range to play in. NQ is rolling. Let's get in. Looks good. Honestly, I've done so well today. I've got no desire to risk anything at all. I'm kind of like doing all right. This wasn't this is not like A+ setup in here. This is just kind of choppy garbage range. We barely moved anywhere today. If you survived the stay or made anything on the stay, consider yourself lucky. How do you deal with blowing accounts or revenge trading? Well, having a good grip. Like early on, I did that a lot, like in my career. Now, I'd have prop firms when I started. I had to basically lose real money And that hurt even more. Revenge trading. A lot of times, you wouldn't have any money to revenge trade with. So that helped. Being broke or having nothing when I'm starting out, you know? The idea of what you can do, like in prop firms, is that you limit yourself to a certain amount of loss, and then just you have to force yourself not to do it. Close down your platform if you have to. I have a rule that once you've hit your limit for the day, you close everything down. You don't look at it. You don't even open up your phone to peek. Like, I wonder what the market's doing now. Once you've taken your loss that you've set for yourself, get used to just avoiding, even if the market looks good and tempting, like, oh, well, maybe I can get in on this because this is finally working. You know, for you psychologically, until you have full emotional control, like me, I'll trade all day. I can lose 10 trades in a row and go very negative, and I'm still going to keep trading. Because I'm not over trading at that point. I'm still taking every setup that I find. It's part of the game. I have to trade every setup, but I'm not making dumb trades while underwater. Once you get the habit of being able to not make dumb trades while you're underwater and you're still sticking to your plan, then you don't have to set rules like that for yourself. I never revenge trade. I take a loss and I'm like, whatever. Here I took a loss. I'm not like, ooh, maybe I can get it on the long though and make some money, right? I completely set up a trade. It didn't work. And I demonstrated taking a loss and sitting out with full control. And that's what you want to aspire to do. And if you can't force yourself to have control, close down the platform and don't even look. Like, don't pick up your phone an hour later and say, I wonder what the market's doing. And look at it. If you do that, you're going to tempt yourself to maybe jump in on the thing that you were originally wrong on. Example here, if I shorted and was wrong, I can jump in at the long and be in the wrong spot, and then it dumps against me, and then I'm wrong twice. And second rule of thumb is never flip flop. If your long trade doesn't play out, don't flip short. If your short trade doesn't play out, don't flip long. Get used to just being wrong and then being done. Flip-flopping is the easiest way to overtrade. In choppy days, this is how people blow up their accounts, okay? They long at the open. Oh, shit, I lost. Damn it. Okay, fine. Like, okay, let me go to the psychology. Ready? Long at the open. Okay. Oh, man, I'm losing. Okay, it's back to scratch. I'm losing. Okay, let me just wait a little bit more. You know what? Let me just move my stop a little bit more. This sucks. Oh God, I'm okay. I'm okay. Oh, okay. Now I'm gonna make money. I know I'm down, but it's probably gonna go my direction. Oh, whew, this sucks. Okay, damn. Okay, there's the double bottom. Maybe it'll bounce. I'm gonna still hold on a little bit more. Okay, crap. Fine. Ugh, I'm wrong. Lower lows. Let me exit out. Actually, let me flip short. I think it's gonna crash out. And all of a sudden, damn it, my short is losing. Okay, maybe it'll turn around. Okay, it's not that bad. Higher highs. Crap. Higher highs. Fuck. Okay, close out. Let me go long. God damn it. You get it, right? That's what you do. And that's typically where the revenge trading comes from. And dude, we all been there, dude. Everybody's like, get out of my head. And so like, that's really what it is. And the idea is, if I longed and I was wrong, like, get out of the way and just chill for a minute, like chill for a while. And this is like, the revenge trading comes from going the other way when you're wrong. And it's a good practice. It's better just to miss out on the other side. If you weren't able to see it, then jump in. Yeah, I could have made a little bit of money jumping in the long right here, but is it really worth chasing something? If I get, yeah, just forget, if I get to break even, I'll never. Oh yeah, pleading with God. The stages of grief that you go through. Yeah. The Kubler-Ross 5 stages of grief: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and then acceptance. The bargaining is like, God, if you just make me break even, I promise I'll call my mom more. I'll donate it all to charity. Just make me a millionaire, I promise. We've been there. Yeah. We've been there. So here, right, I took my, like, I'm up, I don't know how many thousands today. But bum 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 bum. But yeah, being wrong and not flip-flopping helps with the psychology there. For sure. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, it looks like, okay, maybe if it's already been leaked, then I could probably say about it. There's a conversation going on right now that who started this thing? Tyler Capital. So I guess looks like Trader Kane went out and leaked it. Oh, well, whatever. Here you go. If you guys want to learn about the deal, like I said, I'm not saying anything, but someone else wrote it. So go read that if you guys want to know my funded futures is deal. It's leaked. You typed it earlier. Okay. All right. No, I don't feel so bad. I accidentally leaked it on air. Yeah. My bad. But other people seems like they've leaked it. What about the $25,000 soft cap? So basically, there's a prop, like most of the prop firms are gonna have payout caps, but it's a soft cap before deciding if you move to live or not. It's like some people think that a prop account is for you to sit there and spend infinite money for yourself. Prop accounts aren't designed to do that. They're designed to test you if you're ready for live. And once you hit the payout cap and got to start over, and then just hit the payout cap and start over, you know? That's it. Did I mention it earlier? Yeah, so you can do, well, since it's already been leaked, my funded deal is they've upped it from 3 to 5 accounts. I accidentally said it on air, but it looks like people are leaking it. So starting tomorrow for the entire month, Rock Scooter code will give you a good deal with those guys. You can buy up to 5 accounts, which is huge. They've always done 3 and 50% off. That's the biggest deal of all of them. Code Rocket Scooter, yeah. All right, I'm not the first to leak it then. Someone else leaked it. Fine. Yeah. Yeehaw for a month. Why am I whispering? Matt Leach is gonna, he's here in the other room, he's gonna hear me. It says starter pools expert max 1 use per person. 1 use per person. Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Oh, maybe I misread that. You can only get 1, yeah. Just 1. But the code still gives you, our code still gives you extra deals for like whatever it is for every other one. I think it's like 5% off. But I'll tell you guys, apart from that, at least get one of those and then get the funded next at 30% off. Load up on the funded next because it's uncapped payouts. So I'm telling people, if you want like a recipe of shit to get your My Funded account. That's a guarantee. That's the best one you're going to get. Funded next, load up on those at 30% off. Go get some ETF statics and straight to funded at 65% off. These are the big deals coming up. 65 ETF is good. For straight to funded, 65% off is a banger deal. You can sign up for the Tradeify. Tradeify is great, dude. For straight to funded crypto, that's what I've been trading, man. And it's clean. Like, you're not going to go out there and make $1 million payout with Tradeify, but it's consistent. Every 10 days, I get 3,000 per account. So a lot of people, if you're good and get all 5 of your accounts there, it can be up to 15,000 every 10 days, which is like a decent return at a good moderate pace. And I like it because of that. Once you rip 80K in payouts, they'll move you to live. And that's the other thing. And they'll give you like a $20,000 live account. You're a design engineer, Yunus? Oh, awesome, man. What happens to the 2 extra accounts after the month? I'm sure you still get the accounts. You probably just can't buy anymore. You can't buy any more than 3 once it's done. Am I grabbing more? Am I grabbing more what? More accounts? I'm already maxed out on my funded next from the last deal, so I still got those guys, but I can't buy any more. I'm live with ETF, so I can't really go buy any of those. I'm live with my funded, so I can't buy any of those. My Tradeifys are still on point. I can't, like, what could I wonder what I could buy that I don't already have? Futures Desk is 60% off. I can grab some statics from those guys that are 60% off. That's a really good deal. 60% off Futures Desk is really awesome. They got a static and an end of the day option. That's neat. I don't know what Apex is doing though. Yeah, I'm kind of capped. I can't really buy anything, to be honest. I have to pick a new firm to go with. Yeah. Futures Desk. I don't have those guys yet. It could be the time to pick them up. I definitely want to trade them to see what they're like. Anybody hiring in Chicago? That I don't know. So who leaked the My Funded deal? I wonder who the first person was. And don't say me, because I probably am the first person to leak it. I accidentally leaked it on the show. Y'all saw me fumble. I was like, because I was reading the deals and I was reading the note that I had from my guy that was like in capital letters, don't leak this deal. And after I leaked it, I was like, oops, I got to read better. Whatever. Oh, you heard it from Brian before me? Okay, good. Then I could just, I don't think they would really care, but I definitely try to be cautious with those things. It was just accidentally. I was just reading through the list and it got blurted out and everybody on stream was like, what? Look up the Edge Funder. What is that, Sam? The thread I referenced was like 8:30. Okay, cool. Good deal, good deal. So yeah, my funded has always had like a cap though. They've always had the soft cap. Not every prop firm is designed for scale. Yeah, like I added commentary to Kane's post. I was like, what Kane is saying is not wrong. He was like, MFF going up to 5 accounts, great, but there's still a 25K cap that isn't advertised anywhere. Don't go buying 5 accounts looking to scale it. And a lot of people are like, wait, what? But like, not every firm is designed for scale. Like, that's different prop firms for different reasons. Like Apex was like, hit a grand slam, make $1 million. But I basically said not every firm is designed for scale. Some are just for consistent and decent ROI. Like my fund and future trader fire in the camp. The firms with capped profits always seem to be the healthy ones and never have problems, right? They're the ones that are sturdy and stable and people don't have shenanigans. Automatic same-day payouts, like that consistency is really good and you're not going to have any shenanigans. I said the grand slam $1 million payouts are usually the ones with the most risk. Rapid rule changes, payout delays, subjective denials, and more often as well. So there's a flavor for each risk appetite, and it's up to the trader to decide which one they place their bets in. And that's kind of the thing is like, it shouldn't be a surprise that, sometimes there's a payout cap. You can only make so much per account, but that's expected, right? In return, you get instant payout approvals and no delays in your payout. And you don't get them like, okay, send us an interview of you showing us your trading style for an hour before we decide to pay you. This is what you get from like the ones that allow unlimited, uncapped payouts tend to be more subjective because the risk is higher. It's just known to be that. So as a trader, you just decide which one's your flavor. If you want to take the gamble of the riskier thing for the bigger payout, well, that's Wall Street, right? More risk, more reward. Like people, I guess the commentary in that thread, a lot of the like public seems surprised that there's like a cap with my funded, but I mean, that's kind of like how Tradeify, there's a cap. You can only make 80K with Tradeify, you get a 20K account and then you're done forever. You can't trade with them anymore. And as people don't read the rules, and I think that the misconceptions, they watch a lot of the influencer traders make $1 million payouts and think every prop firm is $1 million payout. Like at Tradeify, once I make 100K or 80K, I'm done. I get a 20K account. If I fuck it up, I'm done. I can't trade with them anymore. That's it. There's a limit to how much you can make with Tradeify. Forever. There's a forever limit. What is the cap at Top Step? I didn't even know what it was. Will they close your account? Like, they don't close your live account, but I think if you make your 80K and then you bust your live account, you're just done trading. I don't know if how long until they let you back in, if they ever do. Some programs have a rehab program, like ETF just made a rehab program. If you fail live, they let you go back to the eval and start over. So I think that'll be the growing trend as ETF is kind of pioneering that. And a couple other firms are doing it too, is that once you go to live and you fail, you get a second chance and a third chance and so on to keep going back to the program. I think that'll be the status quo going forward. So the one and done thing, I think, is the old model that might change. A lot of times the Zoom call is not common. My fund or any firm might do a Zoom call, but a lot of times in the firms like Apex want you to go over your entire trading strategy. A lot of times the other firms just want to make sure that you're really who you say you are. Like the account is open, the name is like, you open it your grandma's name, but you're really trading it. A lot of times they have account sharing, or they'll find like instances of botting or micro scalping that break the rules. It kind of seems suspicious. They just want to make sure that you're a real human that can justify why you're doing what you're doing. And sometimes it's normal if you're unusually trading. People that are normally trading don't usually get, prodded to make a video. Thank you. Appreciate it. Bye. Oh, thanks, bud. Thanks for the follow, Crypto DMO. Am I long in this? Nah, I think I'm done for the day, man. It's 18 minutes till market closes. I'm well up. So. $25 per account at Top Step. You can start over at the beginning. Yeah, I think you can start over at the beginning of Top Step. So once you make 80K at trade out, you're done. Once they move you to live, you get a 20K live account, and then you just trade live with them. Keep that account alive, and you keep making money forever. But the thing that I think, and I don't know anybody that's been through this case yet, because I don't know anybody that's gone live that's blown up yet. Like, Pat went live, and then his live account went to the freaking moon. So I don't know what happens if you go live and you go bust, but I know with Tradeify, they have a lifetime payout cap. Payout. Not profit cap, but payout cap. You can't make any more payouts past the 80K. And then you go live. And if you bust live, as far as I know, and again, I don't know anyone in the situation, if you bust your live at that point, you're done. House TPT not the best. It's cheap and no limit daily withdrawal. And TPT's highest in the Pro Plus or whatever just went to end of the day drawdown. TPT is one of the best. Once that change came through, TPT is now S tier at the top and ranked with all the rest of the bigger firms. Getting rid of the trailing drawdown in the plus, it was game changing. Oh yeah. So that was kind of nice. They really had a good So once you go live with TPT, which is their Pro Plus, it becomes end of the day drawdown. So there's no more intraday for live. Now it's still intraday drawdown for Pro, but once you go live with these guys, it's end of the day when you go live. That was huge. So you don't want any kind of, like I said, but the thing is that that's consistent with other live programs. They all have end of the day drawdown. I'm in 2 live programs right now. I'm live with ETF and I'm live with My Funded Futures, and both of them have daily loss limits and like total drawdown. That's both of them have static drawdowns. They don't have trailing drawdowns on the live, but I think it looks like Take Profit does end of the day trailing drawdown when live. Interesting. Oh, what'd you say, Jason, from earlier? Hold up. What'd you say? You know, you should really do Top Step next and get their trader rewards they're starting to do for live traders, like the bonuses. I might. I mean, that is one I still need to do. Get on their leaderboard. Question is why you need the reset. So in case you bust out, then you get a free reset, right? How can I explain what I look for my trades, Eric? You got to kind of come to the boot camp and learn more about what I do. I'm looking for high volume and confluence on flow direction. So I find volume and I long or short it based on the confluence. And the confluence is watching what the stocks are doing at the same time as trading the futures. So my indicators on the screen show me what the stocks are doing, and I use them as tiebreakers for futures. Right now, there's no trade set up. One could possibly long off this white line. But like I said, I'm up today. I have no desire to trade in the last 15 minutes. Apex is a joke. Somebody said they blew accounts and went to AP account request. For our accounts, asked you to write an essay about your strat with screenshots. Look, Apex is becoming less favorable, and Take Profit is what everybody that I know here that is doing Apex is moving to Take Profit. It's like the Apex killer is what people are calling it. So I honestly am not going to say I'm choosing one or the other, but I'll tell you when it comes to like our code use, it's 10 to 1, if not 20 to 1 TPT to Apex. Apex is like a fucking ghost town right now with our code. Everyone's using Take Profit that was using Apex 6 months ago. Is the point of trading to have more freedom and live your life more? Yeah, it really is, right? Why do you choose to be streaming from market open until later in the PM session? Well, right now we're in a phase of growing the brand. We built a marketplace, we built a trading platform, and now we're building ourselves up to be a substantial player in the prop firm. At the moment of quote unquote building a brand, being present all day, every day is very much part of it, being part of the community. If you were me, you'd go live, take your trade, chat for a bit, the viewers, and go enjoy the rest of the day. I used to do that. I used to trade 2 hours a day, make all my money, stream for a little bit, then go away. Now I stream all day, every day. I think revenue is up like, I don't know, 20x what it was 4 years ago. Our stream size is up 20x what it was since January. Right now, the goal is building a brand bigger, and then we're going to launch our marketplace fully with ads, and then the next phase of Rocket Scooter in the marketplace together, getting vendors to run their businesses through our app and everything is big. So we got to be like one of the biggest names out there and work on it. Dude, let me tell you, like when I first was making tons of money as a trader, I was like doing the same thing. I'd finish up my stream. I'd go sit at a coffee shop. I was writing novels. I was so bored. I would go eat lunch. I'd go spend money. I'd go shopping, and life gets really boring when you just sit at home and trade for a couple hours a day with nothing to do. I definitely enjoy doing this more than I do anything else. I love building stuff for a living. This is the equivalent I tell people of like you going in your garage and working on your car all day long and building something because it's your thing to do. I mean, I'm building a trading platform. I'm obsessed with it. I love it. Yeah, and I make trillions of dollars in YouTube revenue. You know, somebody actually did a quote on my photoshopping skills. If you read that number very closely, I made $1,069,420. I might tweet that one day. Couple people like Hobo noticed the Photoshop, but then they were like, he was like, nice, Matt made $1 trillion this month, but it was actually 69,420. No, I love it though, and I love building out the brand because, and the way you think about it like this is that in reality, you know, as a CEO of multiple companies, and then you know trying to work out building the brand, especially, it's a very valuable brand, and every moment you put into it makes it even more valuable. But the goal is to take what we're building to the next level, right? But yeah. Why stream all day, every day? I love it. My girlfriend streams all day, every day. She loves it. We spend all of our time together outside of streaming with family and doing stuff together on the weekends. We're always doing stuff together. It's just like a normal job. And I guess the point of trading is, I think like Marky has a great point. Like is the reason to do anything to have more freedom and live your life. Well, that's the reason for, okay, the MOC just kicked on. That's really the reason for retiring. Any job that you do that's entrepreneurial is not going to be a 40-hour workday. It's certainly not going to be a 3-hour workday. Anybody that has ever built a business, I'll probably get some people that know it firsthand, is that like becoming an entrepreneur, to quit your 40-hour-a-week job is to, like, if I want to be an entrepreneur, it's because I want to not work 40 hours a week so that I can work 200 hours a week. That's the joke of being an entrepreneur. Quit your 40-hour-a-week job so that you can work 200. It's, to some people, the passion is to build something from scratch and do it, right? And number one is, even day trading is not going to be a 2 or 3 hour sport and then you're done. If you're that efficient and that good where you make your money 2 or 3 hours in and you're done, yeah, do that for a living. And then you're basically kind of like an early retirement. And a lot of people can't, and I can do that too. And I did that for a while, but it just got really boring making money and looking for things to do. So, you know, I decided to spend my efforts and time building a trading platform and going forward with it. Because it really is truly like a passion. I currently have 17 revenue streams now. 5 years ago, I had 1. And we're continuing to grow. IDOC and I are about to build a pickleball court. And that's very expensive, we found out. And then what's next? And we might open a boba shop. We were talking about that. So it's just like, what's next? What's next? What's next? And while I'm young and while I'm able to do stuff, I'm excited to keep building things. Yeah, 17. I got 17 things that pay me money. And I think at this point, it's more along the lines of not the money that's motivating me. It's the fact that I'm always doing something cool and making something new. I get more obsessed with building something that you guys like rather than I get obsessed with, I'm going to make a lot of money selling it to people. I love the collaboration of us coming up with something cool than all of us just enjoying it. It kind of feels cool to be doing what I love to do with my friends. And I feel like my job really is kind of like that. A boba shop. Somebody said, what kind of shop? A boba shop / bakery kind of thing. Partner with an orthopedic office next door to the pickleball court. Oh, that'd be hilarious. Yeah. You have like 2 boba shops? Oh, nice. And the reason we wanted to do that is because iDoc's niece is a very talented baker. She has her Instagram and everything. And I wanted to invest in her to give her like a boba shop and bakery so that she could like really go out there and crush it. That's the really reason we wanted to do it. And having community as a plus makes you feel fun. Right, it's fun. And what actually used to not be fun is sitting here and trading by myself. And what did I do in between trades? I'm over here playing Call of Duty or something to stay busy. But having a community and people to hang with and talk with, it just makes it really fun. But the cool thing about our community, it's not just a community. It's like interactive. Everybody here helps contribute to the stuff we make and build. And it feels just like working at Apple. Like you have this cool, fun place to work and everybody there is really smart and everybody there is producing some next level thing that the world's going to benefit from. And it's my own little version of having something that's like that cool Silicon Valley mentality where people are skateboarding from one office to the next and playing ping pong on their breaks and, you know, having fun, but also doing big things. What's her Insta? You might want to ask iDoc. I don't know off the top of my hand. All right, guys. Looks like we pushed higher and higher and higher. Closing out upper DD band is pretty chill. I like that. Market's opening. I'm going to close out, you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Boot camp starts in 10 minutes. And we're done. Thank you, guys. Love y'all. As always, y'all are the best. Class today, yeah, 10 minutes.
Makes the weak ones fly. Future volume crystal clear. Rocket scooter leads no fear. No more guesswork, no more loss. Seeing past the others cross. Institutions will be seen. Predict the flow like a machine. Rocket scooter, you've got the key. Pull back curtains, let me see. Trends we ride with heads held high. Resilience makes the weak ones fly. Future volume crystal clear. Rocket scooter leads no fear. No more guesswork, no more loss. Seeing paths the others cross.